We're here to make a new type of news.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Making news just for you. It's June 30th here in Seoul. I'm Shin Yeun, and this is News Generation, where we make the news at Arirang's very own open studio. Every morning, we'll discuss the top issues and latest current affairs affecting people in their 20s and 30s. Joining me in the studio is Niall Song.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And Park Ki-hoon.
Thank you for having me.
All right, now both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. As usual, let's start with our news feed, which covers different hashtags and news items that have been trending on social media over the past 24 hours. K-pop girl group 50/50 has filed a provisional injunction to suspend their exclusive contract with their agency Attract. The four members said their agency violated contract terms and claimed that they were forced to go through their schedule despite poor health conditions. This K-pop group has blown up explosively despite being produced from a small label. Industry insiders attribute the agency to have wisely recognized the potential of TikTok as a promotional tool. And from Saturday, you may be able to enjoy movie theaters at cheaper prices. The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism has decided to include movie tickets as cultural expenses so moviegoers can apply for the tax back. Now, this means each individual can receive up to 30% back from their movie tickets, and this will be applied to those who earn up to $53,000 a year and use 25% of it on living costs. Each individual will only receive a tax deduction of up to $2,281. Now, the 2008 Olympic weightlifting champion, Jang Mi-ran, was named the second Vice Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism on Thursday. She is the third elite athlete to hold that position, following former shooter Park Jong-gil and ex-swimmer Choi Yoon-hee. Now, it's great news for the sports industry. Jang Mi-ran has a very decorated athletic resume, and she won a gold at the 2008 Olympics competing in the plus 75 kilo category, and at the time, she broke the world record total of 326 kilograms. She also broke world records in snatch and in the clean and jerk. She also has many world titles. After retiring in 2013, she's been helping young athletes with scholarships and has also worked as a university professor. Now, Ki-hoon, I don't know about you, but when I was young, I remember watching the Olympics and seeing Jang Mi-ran come out so much. We all called her like the warrior, right? Weren't you a little fascinated to find out her next achievement in life?
Yes, and then she's definitely a living legend, and I still remember watching her win the gold medal in the Beijing Olympics, and I felt really proud. Even though I was back in Sydney and I was not that old, I was very proud to see a Korean women weightlifter win a gold medal, and I think she's really paved the way for young aspiring weightlifters to pursue this kind of career in this sport, because it's not the mainstream sport. It's not that popular, but it is gaining popularity thanks to people like her. And I think it's great to see world-class athletes like her continue their second career as creating foundations and becoming a pivotal member in this kind of sports scene, especially in sports like I mentioned that's not considered mainstream.
Yeah.
And I think without these efforts, we won't see any future superstars grow in the future, especially here in Korea. So I'm definitely looking forward to the 2024 Paris Olympics to see Team Korea, do better ever than before. Yeah.
And you mentioned a very interesting point. If you're not competing in mainstream sports, I do think a lot of athletes go through the slump after their golden years of going to the Olympics and getting awards. You don't really hear about them because media doesn't really cover them.
Definitely.
But for me, I saw Jang Mi-ran recently on a YouTube channel, and she appeared as a professor. So I was like, oh, that's what she's up to. And then I was even more excited to hear that she's being seated as one of the top officials for the sports industry for the Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism. What about you now?
Right, like you just mentioned, I heard that she studies really hard. She's an academic. She teaches well, and Rose Ran is actually her nickname in Korean, because Jangmi means rose in Korean. And it was really a turning point for me too when I was watching her be in the Olympics, because you don't really see women and strength and you tie them together.
Right.
But watching that as a high schooler, and honestly watching her with her interviews, her character really shines through. She's a hardworking person, and it's just so inspirational. And I feel like she redefines femininity.
Yeah.
And she, like we mentioned, works really hard studying academically and also in coaching. So I'm really excited for her in this next season and what she's going to bring for the Korean sports industry.
All right, and we're now going to start our main discussion topic. Though it's a Friday, the weather isn't helping us feel any better. And what better way to wrap up the week by looking at some of the latest, hottest entertainment news in the country. And today we're going to zoom in to what's been happening in the Korean entertainment scene. So what's the latest entertainment news that has caught your attention these days now?
You know, I've seen a lot of articles that start with lost weight or gained weight, and
Yeah.
it's not news. You know, we've seen this for the past few decades, but you know, I've seen things like girl group Ives, Liz after glow up after losing so and so many kilos, and the reason why Karina has to be so skinny in real life is because when you see her on stage and they have two pictures comparing like real life and on stage, and you know that depending on the angle, no matter how skinny you are, it'll make you look bigger, right? And so people are like, oh, that's why you have to be so skinny. And I'm like, is that a good takeaway? And you know, there's pictures of idols in bikinis saying slender but cute, and it's all focused on the weight, body weight of a woman, and we don't get that about men.
Right.
Occasionally we get the, oh yeah, he bulked up and he glowed up, but
Occasionally, though.
yeah, occasionally. Very few compared to, female idols and actresses. And I really think it's this toxic trait where we focus on how many kilos they lost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's that ideal idol weight, right?
Right.
Like you have to be like 42, 43 kilos.
That's impossible.
It's impossible. They're grown ups. They can't weigh
it's
that.
so underweight, and when they do gain weight, they also write about that, But like Chang Won-young from
Yeah.
I've also, she was known for being really skinny, and then people would comment, "Oh, she's too skinny. She's too skinny." And then they posted something saying Chang Won-young gained 5 kilos and then a glow up. I'm like,
I know.
the focus of it, I just feel like it's so unfortunate, and kilos are different, muscle weight, fat percentage, and there's a lot of things that we can't measure with just kilos. And I really hope that in the future we just move past all of this.
Do you think it's more of a Korean thing, especially in the Korean K entertainment business, where they focus so much on especially the women, like how much they gained or how much they lost? Is it kind of like a Korean kind of?
I feel
concept?
like it is. You do see this in the Western media as well, but I don't see it going down to the point of talking about kilograms.
I know.
Like 5 kilograms, they lost, like 10 pounds.
Exactly.
How do you know this? And, I do feel like it's a very Eastern Asian thing too. But yeah, I think we just want our stars to be healthy, and their job is to sing, dance, act, and, perform for us. So for them to really stay healthy and continue doing that.
Health matters. And I think another point there is the beauty standards too. I think these news headlines obsessing over the weight that they lost or how they seem. For instance, I don't understand how one celebrity gaining 5 kilos could be newsworthy, But that sort of shows that the public is interested, because celebrities do inevitably determine our body image and what we aspire to be going for. But Kyun, what about you? What's the latest entertainment news that caught your attention?
Before I say anything about the latest news, I lost 2 kilos. Can you tell?
You're looking really
Can you
nice.
tell with my sharp chin line?
We don't,
Someone make a headline about this.
we don't notice. That's why it's a good thing. We have a healthy work environment.
As long as you're beautiful on the inside and
That's
happy
what
on the
matters.
inside, you'll look beautiful on the outside as well. I just wanted to tap on idols in the acting scene, because the latest news that I saw was Tiffany from Girls' Generation. She's joined the cast of the upcoming drama called Angku Samsik alongside Song Kang-ho from Parasite. So, nowadays we're seeing many idols play the lead role in dramas and films. But, back when they first started in the acting scene, there were many critics and viewers who felt very uncomfortable seeing idols on screen acting, because, honestly, when I saw them as well, I found it really awkward.
Why?
Acting, because obviously they're not professional actors. They were obviously idols performing on stage, which is very different. And obviously, they didn't have the experience, but now they're more natural. But back when they started, it was very kind of like, ooh, why are they acting on screen?
Yeah.
So you can just, to give you a better understanding, just imagine an actor or an actress performing on stage, singing and dancing idol
That is
songs.
a bit strange.
Can you imagine Song Kang-ho doing,
I can't.
I would like
singing
to see
Big Bang
that. I wouldn't
BTS
mind.
songs? Can you imagine Song Kang-ho like singing to a BTS song?
That's a good analogy, though. I never thought about it the other way around.
If you think about the other way around, you'll be like, oh, that doesn't just
That's
match.
a little uncanny. It's
But nowadays, you see so many different idols, and they're so natural. They're good at what they're doing. They're winning awards, and they're in like these mainstream, like popular films. So just to name a few, like Im Siwan.
I was gonna say Im Siwan.
Yeah.
Some people
I
don't
didn't
even know
that
he's
he
an
was
idol.
an idol.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know because
That's how good he was at acting.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and not just him, like Im Yuna from Girls' Generation, Lee Juno, and Ok Tae-kyung from 2PM.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they were dubbed like 연기돌. 연기 means
연기돌.
acting, 돌 like idol, so 연기돌.
The
so
people have accepted them.
yeah.
people have.
And like there's like Dio from EXO, and
Yeah.
the list goes on. So I think, you know, it's good to see that there are more idols, you know, in the acting scene. But if you think about the other way around, like seeing actors like dancing on stage, that might come one day, hopefully. But
Do you want that to come one day?
not really.
Why not? Why
I'm not ready to see, you know, Song Kang-ho doing the BTS dance. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stuff
it's very
like that.
multi-talented people, and these days I actually saw online, you know, the singer Bibi, while she was singing, and there's a few clips of her acting, and people were saying she needs to go into acting because she's so good. So there are people who are really going back and forth because of their multi-talent, but as a viewer, in the past, I understand how people were kind of thrown off by the characters changing.
If I sum up,
yeah.
you can add on.
Just one more thing. But thinking about actors and actresses, they're actually good at singing. When they have fan
They have a good
meetings,
voice,
fan concerts, they actually sing many different songs. So I was surprised to see how many actors and actresses were so good at singing.
And they dance too.
And they dance as well.
They
yeah.
like practice
It's
for
like
months or
almost
something.
everything kind of goes hand in hand, right?
And you know, that's what I was gonna say. I think the K entertainment industry at the moment requires you to be you have a lot
have
of
to do
talent.
everything.
You have to be a good singer, you have to be a good actor, because you never know where you'll end
Are you a
up.
good dancer?
You know what? I want to be a good dancer.
Are you a good singer?
I want to be a good singer.
We all want to
Good
be
actress?
good singers.
Maybe I
Oh, you're good at acting. Like we've seen many
you've
skits.
seen many skits.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm
she's
saying.
getting there. Yeah.
Even though I'm doing news right now, I still need many talents because this is like the new industry is requiring
Yes.
you to be multiple talented. Now, we're going to include another Hallyu fan living overseas to see which news story she's been following the most these days. Now, we're going to connect her right after this. Let's now include a global K-pop Hallyu fan in our talks. It's Jennie Hwang, a content creator of all these Hallyu news from Buenos Aires. Welcome, Jennie.
Hi, how are you? Buen dia in Spanish for the Spanish
Oh,
speakers.
yeah.
Buen dia. Okay.
Buen dia.
All right, Jennie. Now, I would like to ask you the first question. Could you give us a short introduction of yourself and explain to us who your favorite K-pop group or actor are these days?
Oh, wow. My name is Hwang Jennie. Well, I'm journalist. Actually, I had the honor to be the first TV news anchor in Latin America from Korean
Wow.
nationality.
Wow.
And currently, I'm correspondent of Korean media, including Arirang Radio, and also influencer about Korean culture. So we have around 3 million followers in different platforms. In social media, I'm known as Jennie Channel. Well, as for your question about my favorite, stars, I could not point out actually one group. I like them all. Like every artist is an example of sacrifice, efforts, and passion. I really admire them for that. And Latin fans appreciate those values a lot too. One time I asked my fans, "Why do you like so much K-pop?" And their response was really shocking. They said, they love the values of Korean culture, respect, sacrifice, and efforts. And that's, amazing. And about actors, maybe I would mention a couple of a drama that I like a lot. Extraordinary Attorney Woo, Kang Tae-hoi.
That was really nice. All right,
Wow.
Nell.
Okay, my second question for you, you being a correspondent and being really involved with the K entertainment news, share with us the top 3 biggest K entertainment news stories right now. What is the hottest thing?
Oh, yeah. Well, the first topic actually is not pure entertainment, but it gained a lot of attention in Latin America. The system of counting the age in Korea. That was a hot news in Argentina. And actually, I was interviewed by various journalists for that topic. It's something so strange for foreigners, including Latin Americans. So it was really a nice opportunity to talk about Korea and other aspects of the culture, such as, even K-beauty, because when I was interviewed, I would say, okay, we are younger, not because of K-beauty, but because of law. So, a lot of fans ask whether this system, will change the way the military service age is counted, relating to K-pop artists. And it was a chance to explain that it will not change at that case.
I see.
Okay, Jennie, what do you think is the biggest appeal about Hallyu to international fans these days?
Well, I think the great appeal is that it's not one thing. Hallyu has everything, from music, dramas, movie, food, beauty, everything. And many times when I'm invited to Hallyu events, it's beautiful to see families enjoying together. Kids with K-pop, mom with K-beauty, everybody with food. And it's lovely how gathers, families. And it's a family event. So, many times moms, would approach me and told me that they are so happy that their kids are busy, dancing K-pop because therefore they're far from bad influences and addictions.
Right, so K-pop is now acting as the glue, sticking different generations together. I remember
love that.
going to concerts and interviewing people, and as you mentioned, Jennie, it was really interesting to see a mother and daughter cheer on for this specific group. I think it was BTS at the time, and they're like, we love the values that BTS is trying to spread, as you mentioned. Now, I would like to ask you the last question. We're seeing a lot of news related to K-entertainment. Nell and Kyun here have sort of talked about like different celebrities and where their whereabouts are at the moment right now. Is there any news that you're looking forward to seeing develop at the moment?
Oh, news. The news that you mentioned in the beginning about 50-50. Wow, yeah, it will be interesting, to see how it develops. We are kind of worried since one member is, recovering from a health issue. And on the other hand, the group is dealing with difficulties with the company. So, it's kind of pity because this group had so much potential, has so much potential. And in Latin America, it has a lot of fans too.
I see. All right, thank you so much, Jennie. It was a pleasure to hear from you all the way from Buenos Aires today.
Thank you. Hasta luego.
All right, hasta luego. Now, before we continue our talks, we're also going to hear from our global viewers, and we asked what they had to say on today's topic. Mina had said recently BTS's 10th anniversary celebrations in Yeouido and the fireworks event caught my attention the most. Leon Teo said the news that some artists are suing their agencies or trying to nullify their exclusive contracts and end up successfully doing so, like Luna and Bae 173's Nam Doyeon. Other recent examples include Lee Seung-gi and EXO CBX. Benny D97 said the news of SM artists' comebacks, including SHINee and EXO, and the success of recent K-dramas. So we can clearly tell that our viewers are quite interested about K-entertainment.
Very invested.
They're very invested. Now, NewsGen is also going to be sharing our views on the latest Korean entertainment buzz. We're going to do that by showing you a few pics of the hottest news, and we're going to go around the studio with our panelists introducing 2 pictures each, starting with Nell.
All right, so let's look at, this one is actually Kyun. So
why don't you
take
Kyun,
it?
all right,
take
yeah,
it because
all right.
I love Aespa.
Okay.
All right, the K-pop sensation group Aespa threw out the first ceremonial pitch on June 8 at New York Yankees Stadium in a match between New York Yankees and Chicago White Sox to promote their world tour. It was the first time in 9 years at a major league game after Suji from Miss A had the honor at Dodger Stadium when Korean baseball player Yoo Yeon-jin was part of the LA Dodgers team. Unfortunately, Giselle could not take part due to health issues, but luckily, Lady Luck was on the Yankees side as they won the game 3-0.
Oh,
That's really
nice.
nice.
Amazing.
It's so amazing to see K-pop artists go all the way there and do that, right? Now, why don't you, Nell, then share the second news scoop?
Right. Speaking of, K-pop artists and K-artists going abroad, Jennie. Cannes is the dream festival for actors all over the world,
That's
and
true.
everybody wants to be there. But Blackpink's Jennie walked down the red carpet at Cannes for her debut as an actress for the series The Idol. And, she even had her own photo time despite not even being the main actress, who was actually Lily Rose Depp. But, there were a lot of controversies for having The Idol having a lot of nudity,
Yeah.
profanity, drugs, sadism, masochism, a lot of smoking. So this was, a huge controversy. But despite that, there have been clips of Jennie's acting online, and people are really excited and looking forward to seeing this. Fans are looking forward to seeing Jennie on screen in a different way, and you can watch it on HBO Max.
I know a lot of controversy surrounded Jennie, but you have to think about that's a really big step for her in her acting
Right.
career. As we mentioned with Kyun before,
did.
a lot of idols going to the acting scene.
Right.
Multi-talented.
I know. The
Definitely.
next story, Kyun?
All right, the new cast for Squid Game Season 2 has been unveiled. 8 new cast members was further announced alongside Im Siwan, Kang Han-il, Park Sung-hoon, and Yang Dong-gun on Thursday.
So exciting.
Yeah, I am. Me too. Even the former Big Bang member T.O.P.
T.O.P.
is set to appear in the upcoming season. The star-studded casting lineup will start shooting in the latter half of this year. However, the release date has not been set yet, so all eyes are on, when it'll be released, the season 2.
And do you guys think that season 2 will be as big as a buzz as it was with season 1?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look at the lineup. It's crazy.
Like the hype is there, and I'm especially looking forward to Lee Jung-jae's acting because his name in the series
It's the same as
me,
yours.
Kyun.
It was Kyun.
Kyun. So a lot of people were calling me like Kyun throughout the season. It was pretty fun.
And it was sort of an open ending at season 1. I remember.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens in season 2. Let's go
I wonder
on.
why he dyed his hair.
I know.
yeah,
why
we're all
did he
looking.
do that?
We really want to know why.
I know.
wanna find out.
We hopefully want to find out the release date soon. Now let's move on to our last story. The next one is
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise came to Korea for the press conference for his new movie, Mission Impossible 7.
Yes.
This is actually his 11th time visiting Korea, and obviously the Korean fans love him, and some call him like Gi-hun Hyung, Tom Hyung, like an older brother in a familiar way. But as he is 60, people have started calling him 아저씨. But to me, that just feels so wrong because Tom Cruise is forever engraved in my mind as Top Gun or Jerry Maguire from the 80s and 90s. But you know what? He's still incredible no matter what the age is, doing all his own crazy stunts. He was jumping off of cliffs on motorcycles. And yeah, actually, he was seen in the streets of Jamsil just freely roaming around on the night of 28th. And he was taking pictures with fans casually. And you can see that he's really genuine in how he treats his fans, receiving, flowers from them, thanking them, like taking his time. And I just hope that this next movie does well and he returns soon again.
And whenever we have these Hollywood stars come to Korea, we always ask them to do the 손하트.
Yes.
Or the
Korean
parts.
part.
Yeah, the
This
Korean
one.
parts. But I think this just opens up the door for more interaction, more cultural exchange on this front. And that's all we have. We did a new approach today, right?
Yeah,
Talking
it was so
about
fun.
entertainment
Fun.
news.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll do that again soon. And we'll wrap up for today. We'll be here every day from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Korea time, bringing you more topics young people are talking about. Special thanks to Nell Song
No problem.
and Park Gi-hun.
It's always a pleasure.
And thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next week. We are
News Generation.